One of the most important videos everybody should check out. How to find it? It's right there in your face. I did a video just yesterday with another brother from Philly, Kevin Hart, because he did a video after he began to recuperate from that accident he was in, and he said some powerful shit, and I used it. Then I just decided not to put it out for whatever reason. But then I'm listening to these dudes, and they saying the same shit that all of them saying the same shit I keep trying to tell people. Uh, One thing is don't take everything lightly. Like people think they free. Not nobody's free. And a lot of people don't realize you might be here right now, but that don't mean you're gonna be here later on. So don't take anything for free. Don't think it's easy. It's just gonna be the way it's gonna be, because it's not gonna be. And in this case, Kevin Hart was talking about what he learned from it. He said he knows for a fact that God saves him. He kept saying God the whole he kept saying God, and he was just talking about his family, his wife, stuff like that. It was a very encouraging video to don't be out here being silly, being stupid. Now, this right here, of course, Gilly the Kid, King of Philly, came through, Breakfast Club, 105.1. And it was funny because Envy wasn't there. So I don't know if that's a metaphysical reason or not. But Charlemagne's in there. And of course Angie right there. Um, but they was really going in. But it was real funny. Anybody know anything with Gilly? Gilly, that's why he's still alive. And it was asking him, they said, because his cousin sitting next to him got locked up for a long time. That's Wallow. So they're like, Gilly, how come you ain't? And, he said, God. See, y'all got to understand the history of Philly. This is why Philly is in your Bible. When you get to the book of Revelation, the only congregation that Jesus promised would not go through the extreme judgment called the Great Tribulation is the Philadelphia congregation. But the reason why that's written there, because when these devils was taking over not just this country, but taking over the world, their biggest resistance was Philly, people from Philadelphia, and also right where I'm at, Monmouth County, New Jersey. See real. So if you think I'm wrong, you can check out RFG Chosen One. Because RFG Chosen One told you that all that shit they teach all about American Revolution, all that shit is fake. They was actually killing our ass. They was actually throwing us into captivity and slavery. But they got you thinking they was fighting each other and stuff. But no, they was teaming up fighting us. But they just like that whole history has been rewritten. So that power, that spirit is still in effect. And that's why I keep trying to tell you, these are going to be the same powers. These are going to be the same powers that these are going to be the same powers that take over, that they're bringing back to us, to the melanated people. I don't know if y'all can hear that noise, but obviously there's something wrong with the TV, so I gotta go check out what's wrong. I'll be right back. It's just 2019 been hell, and it's just this person is just a drama person. Whether they deliberately do it or supernaturally crazy ass shit be going on. Anyway. So this video, like I said, so that's that real shit. And because Philly lost AR-Ab, he got locked up. All them dudes, like I said, Gilly knew all them niggas from 6ix9ine, Treyway. He knew all them dudes. So that's a dude that really could be writing books. He do what he do. See, like niggas like us, like real niggas, that's how we are. Like we do like the shit Gilly do. That's the type of, the shit he do now. Like you do shit like that. Like you don't really want to. You wouldn't mind writing a book, but you really don't want to write a book and shit like that. And like dudes like us, we just got a street mentality. Like it's different because we don't want no fuckery. But I wanted to make sure y'all check out this video because they talk a lot about sex demons, and I definitely want to talk about that. But I do want to say one thing. See, the way they do it is the way it's supposed to be done. See, this devil is a lion. He's just a lion ass devil. So that's why when I got caught up in this system, God pulled me out of it. And the point being made is because God told me this is supposed to be like it was when I was a little kid. See, when I was a little kid, I did it like, say, Gilly would do it or something like that. More or less, you knock on somebody's door and you say, "Can I cut your grass or whatever?" They'd be like, yeah, how much? So you tell them how much that you charge and shit. So then they agree to crush their grass. Now while you're out there cutting grass, they might come out there and say, "Oh, well, you know my hedges and shit like that." Okay, well that's more work, so it's gonna be more money. Okay, yeah, I'll cut your hedges for this amount of money, right? Or whatever. Or they might say, "Oh yeah, you know, upstairs it was a lot of stuff in the room. You could just throw it out." Okay, no problem. But that's more money. Oh, you know what? I share. Could you? Yes, but that's more money, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, could you wash the cars? Yeah, but that's more money. But you see, you getting paid for your job. But when you work for these devils, and I don't care what color they are, because whoever set it up was a devil, most likely. When you work for these devils, you'll start off with one fee with certain assignments. But then all of a sudden they start piling more and more assignments on you, and you ain't getting paid for none of them extra assignments they throwing on you. And then when you go up for that raise or whatever, they may come up with an excuse as to why they can't give you extra money or why they don't think you deserve it. But yeah, you still doing more work and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of games to be played. And there's some people say, well, you know, if you just did a great job, you wouldn't have to worry about that. And that's not always true. So what I'm trying to tell you, that's why I call it fuckery and fuckboy shit. Because you shouldn't be worrying about, is it true, is it not true? What you need to be worrying about is bottom line, that cash in your hand. And everything I'm talking about is legal jobs, legal money, and shit like that. And then, like I said, I would have those type of jobs, and then I would go out to the auction on the weekend. So I would be selling shit out the auction. Like I think what Chris Brown just did was a super hustle move, because y'all already know the history of Chris Brown. He got mad at the dude from Migos and gave out his address and shit. Told that nigga to pull up. Called that nigga Pootie Tang and shit. He told that nigga, "You look like Pootie Tang and shit. Pull up and shit." So the nigga was acting like he was gonna pull up. Then that's when Chris Brown gave out the number. See, like I said, I don't talk about people's private lives or whatever they did to get famous and all that shit. That ain't none of my business. But Chris Brown ain't never been no punk for the most part. Even when he was little and shit. Even when y'all remember when I don't remember that other dude. But remember that other dude that came out with Chris Brown? The other dude looked a lot like Usher. But I forget that nigga's name. But he used to always be talking shit about Chris, but nobody knew how crazy Chris was. So everybody thought he was just hating until finally it came out about Chris and shit. And then I said, oh, now I see what that nigga was always talking shit about Chris Brown. When Chris Brown told that nigga to pull up and gave out his address and shit, I said, wow, that's crazy. And so he gave out his address again, because now he had like a yard sale and shit. But that's a hustle move, because he can get a lot of money and shit. There's gonna be a lot of people ready to pull up on that, you know, because no matter what you say, he's still Chris Brown. So I like when I see that shit, cause I like that's some a real nigga would do and shit. Some people don't understand that, but like if you know, like I've been around real niggas, you know what I'm saying? They'll hustle anything. If you might give them something and they'll sell it like right away. You be like, damn, I just gave that shit, and that nigga sold it already. Hustlers, they hustlers and shit. All right, so anything with Gilly, but that's how he's around too. See, he got that sense of humor. But a lot of psychopaths be having sense of humor and shit. And there's nothing wrong with being a psychopath, because you in a world that'll kill your ass and won't think twice about it. Like I said, I just went outside to move my car and some shit almost popped off. You know, so that's the world you in. So anybody telling you any differently is lying to you. And that's the first thing I learned about my first 20 or so years on this planet. Basically, everything on here is some fuckboy lies and shit. And if you try to go with that shit in your real life, you gonna just fuck your life up. And them same people that was telling you shit like, yeah, there's a way to do it, or it's God's will and something, they gonna say they didn't say that. I done been there, done that. So you gotta find out what the truth is and then move forward. So so they talk about a lot of shit in this video. and I wasn't really gonna come out, even though I wanted to. But when they got to the part about the sex demon, see, I'm gonna try to tell y'all something right now. I just told y'all they lie to you. See, because people want you to fail. People want you to get a sexually transmitted disease. People want you to die of a sexually transmitted disease. So that's why they say you all this. And it's the same game that they played in the Garden of Eden. It's the same game they playing now. And the game is so sweet that if you say it, if you call it what it is, you become the bad person. Not the people actually doing this wickedness. So again, they started talking about the young kids and how the young kids is real self-destructive. They was going in a few things that they doing now. And when I say young kids, I'm still talking about they still teenagers and shit. Some of them are young adults. Some might even be in their 20s. But even Gilly was saying how they think it's cool to have sex without any form of protection or anything. No Trojan, no nada. And then Gilly was like, yeah. And then when this dude wake up and his dick is all messed up, and he was saying how all these people are going to raise real early. Now you would think by all the shit we went through in the 80s and shit like that, you wouldn't even think that'd be a problem, but it still really is, because most people are ready to, like I keep saying, they think it can't happen to them. Anybody doing all that stupid shit is because they really don't think they can have. Like a woman will go running out of her house with really no clothes on, running, and you know when you running out in public, people start to know your routine, know everything. But they running out in public, they running all down some running all in the woods by themselves, or running down some trail and ain't nobody on it and all that shit. And what motherfuckers don't understand, you gotta understand, if you some woman and you doing some shit like that, and you on a trail by yourself, and somebody like yank you up and start raping you on that trail, and some other people come, they may or may not call the cops, because a lot of people don't want to get involved. There was a movie that this happened in New York. A lady was down there getting assaulted, and she was screaming real loud. And all these people, that was a city, and all these people was aware of it, and none of them called the cops. And whoever saw her killed her. And this was like on a main area in the city where tons and tons and tons and tons of people are, and they were all aware that she was being assaulted. Probably, and of course she was killed. But from their perspective, she was being assaulted. They heard her yelling and screaming, and nobody ever called the cops. Some ever came. That's why I be saying people just be stupid. And I just also told y'all about people that got murdered right in front of their own dogs and shit. Dog ain't do shit. So they talk about a lot of that shit I was talking about too. But they just give it from a different perspective. But it's still when people think that they can't get killed or get arrested and shit. So Gilly and his cousin Wallow telling people what's up. And so now I want y'all to really examine what happened with the sex demon shit. Because Gilly said that. Gilly said the same thing I did. They just call it the sex demon. Now I call it whatever. Now even the dude that calls himself Jesus Christ, Soulless, he talks about it too. RFG Chosen One used to talk about it. But Gilly's saying when you sleep with somebody, now you got people having sex, and a lot of these people are not using no type of condoms or nothing. But even if you do use a condom, some of that sperm can still get in the pussy, still get up in that uterus. So it's still a chance of disease. It's still a chance of pregnancy. So Gilly said, but a lot of these people are just hitting it raw. And so they were saying, if you see a female and she be acting like she got 4 or 5 different personalities, that's why. And Gilly said, because you got to remember, life is sperm. Sperm is energy. And when you got 3 or 4 or 5 different guys shooting up in you, you know, whatever. Because the chick will tell you quick, I ain't no hoe. Well, I slept with Bob on Monday night. I slept with Tom Tuesday morning. Slept with Ricky Wednesday afternoon. slept with Petey Wednesday night, and I slept with Gerald Friday morning. So it's like 4 or 5 different motherfuckers she done slept with, but she ain't no hoe. Because she didn't sleep with them the same day or something. Or I didn't sleep with all of them at the same time. So she said she ain't no hoe. So, and hey, listen, if dudes do the same thing, they a hoe too. Now, you got so what Gilly's saying, so this person got all the sperm on her. Cause like you think because you take a shower or something, first of all, that's way up in your pussy. You gotta really be able to clean real good. You know what I'm saying, to get all that out. So some of these people don't even take showers or baths, anything. Even after they just got funny doing shit like that. So Gilly is saying because you got all these different, that is life, the sperm is life, and you got all this energy in you. That's why the chick, they call it sperm demons, sex demons. And he said that's why females be acting like that. So now if you watch the interview, because Charlamagne kind of believed it, Wallow said it's true, and Gilly said it's true. But right away the female said, well, I don't know if that's true. Well, why ain't it? See, like I always peep the knowledge. I watch it. And how come like it had to be the female that said it ain't true? But like I said, if you're like that, if you condone that type of lifestyle, dressing like a hoe, living like a hoe, fucking like a hoe, of course you're gonna condone it and try to make it seem like it ain't true. Because whether you're gonna agree with me or not, that's called dumbing it down. See, they never want to talk about that shit. And then, like I mean, that's a radio broadcast. I wonder if that even aired on the air. I don't know because I don't listen to the radio. I'm not saying it didn't air. What I am asking is, I wonder if what we heard on YouTube aired on a radio show. Because they really want to dumb you down. They don't even want you to think like that. Just like when AIDS first came out, they were saying, "Oh, that was deliberately manufactured to attack black people." Now, is that true? Is it not true? But when they dumb your ass down, because common sense should tell you, you know, like I learned that shit a long time. That's why I'm real funny about everything. Like I don't really don't have to put their hands on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where your hands been and shit. And all, even tongue kissing and shit. I don't fuck with that because that's saliva, germs and all. I'm like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit when I was younger. When I was younger and ain't know no better. Like that shit seemed tempting and all that shit. Not now. You know what I'm saying? Be like, nah, that's alright. Like when you was young, you would be like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna see if I can get her to do this. I'm gonna see if I can get her to do that. Because when you're young, you think that's the shit. But now it's like, nah, that's alright. That's alright. Because whoever I don't know what that chick been. So check the interview because they talk about a lot of real shit, and it only reinforced what I've been saying. I said it earlier this week, I think, and then Kevin Hart said the same thing, and then that's why I said you see him kissing his wife and stuff like that because he said that accident made him take life a little bit more serious. And all these dudes, like I said, when somebody do take your freedom from you, you will take life a little bit more seriously. And like Gilly ain't stupid. Gilly done seen a whole lot of shit. That dude done seen a whole lot of shit. It's just like it's his nature to kind of just be Gilly. You know, he just Gilly. You know what I'm saying, and he just got a sense of humor and shit. But that's a dude that's seen it all. And because no matter how you look at it, but some dudes, like he said when he got locked up, he said the first thing he had to do, he had to yell to a dude in a different cell. He's like, yo, and he said, yo, and he'd be like, yo, this is Gilly, and he said, we cool, like that, and the nigga gotta say, yeah, Gilly, we cool, cause right, he know you locked up, and if y'all ain't cool, he telling that nigga whatever you gonna do, I want to know about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no sneaky shit. So the motherfucker said, yeah, we cool. And then if you watch the interview, you saw Gilly put his index finger under his nose. And you see a lot of rappers do that. Like them young boy rappers, they put that finger under the nose, and that's like snuffing somebody out. So he's seen a lot. So that's a dude. If he ever did want to do a book, he got a lot of stories to tell. But he like a real nigga. He'd rather do like he'd rather find different ways to get in. Like, even when I seen him in that movie with Nipsey Hussle, that was good to see Gilly acting and shit. Cause like that's what I would call like a stand up dude. Like he got legacy and he got history. And I remember when I first seen Gilly, it was like when 50 was still kind of hot. But I always knew about Philly rappers and shit, going all the way back to Marvelous Mob and other niggas. Cause Philly made some good music. I think the dude that made that song, if I'm not mistaken, but he made that song, he said, "Dan dan 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 dan," some shit. That shit was hot. I just forget all the lyrics and shit, but that shit was hot. And I found out a Philly nigga made that song. I said, "Oh shit, that motherfucker like a classic." That's beyond a great ass song and shit. That's like the Mount Rushmore of a great ass song. I heard that dude is from Philly and shit. So like I said, as a dude who's seen a lot. And whenever dude, like I said, whenever dude is sitting with somebody that he could relate to, his interviews is always better. Like I think Nas's best interview, one of his best interviews he ever gave was on Drink Champs. Why? Because he was sitting next to Noriega and they represent Queens. Now don't get it twisted, they didn't necessarily get along, but they knew each other. You know what I'm saying? They knew each other, but they didn't necessarily hang out or was part of the same, nothing like that. But they knew Queens. They knew like some of the same niggas, same history and shit. So that was, to me, that was like the best, one of the best. Because Nas is a real quiet dude. You got to pull that shit out of him. And a lot of people, because he the God MC, people don't want to ask him questions and shit. But that one, he was talking. I never seen Nas talk that much, like that much voluntarily energy. You got to pull it out of him. If he's just Nas. Everybody know him, know that. And then when I saw Fat Joe sitting with Jada and this other dude, and so the other dude wasn't part of the locks. It was just Jada, and this other dude was some type of publicist or something, publicist. But Fat Joe was talking about when he was Crack Joe and all that shit. Because I've seen Fat Joe do other interviews and he don't bring that shit up. Because one time they asked him about a situation he had with Papoose, and he didn't want to talk about it. But then he talked about it with Jada, because they knew back then they was fighting everybody and shit. So it all depends on who you get that nigga to sit with, if you're gonna get a good interview or not. So with Gilly saying with Wallow, it's just different. But it's a funny interview. But that's what I was saying. So I want to repeat that one more time. So you had three dudes kind of trying to tell you what's up, why you don't want to be sleeping around, why you don't want to be fornicating out of control, why you want to make sure you practice safe sex. And they told you why, because that pussy really be burning. And we'd been and tried to tell you that, because whatever that person had up in them, when you go up in her, whatever spirits, all that shit is gonna be on you. And that's what they saying right here. So like I said, I try to tell you, you in the evil world. Like I'm trying to tell you, you in an evil world. You in an evil world, so of course somebody gonna try to dumb it down. So that's what that female had to say immediately. Oh well, I don't know if that's true. Because that's a demon. That's oh yeah, keep on doing it. That's not true. These niggas wild, and that's not true. And then you actually go out there and do it, and you find out how true it is. Like I be trying to tell y'all, even like you go to a church. Let's say you like say, oh, it's revival. Today is revival at this church, so we gonna go there. So all these people go up in there for revival and all that crazy, and then they laying on hands and people touching and holding hands and all that shit. And then all of a sudden you notice some strange shit happening in your life. Because that spirit transfer, whatever that person got on them when they hugged up on you, touching all up on you, you gonna get it. And I seen that shit happen one time, and when a person came back, I started seeing like just supernatural shit. So I had to pray. I had to pray and get that shit up out of here. But that wasn't going on until that person went to that so-called revival and came back and all that. So it's what it is, and very few people will tell you the truth. But we trying to prevent it, because like I be trying to tell people, once you get it, it's gonna be hard to get rid of it, and that's why we try to stop people. But sometimes people just be real stupid, that they're not gonna listen, or they think we don't know what we're talking about. But once again, you just saw 3 men confirm what I was trying to tell you. All that shit ain't cool. Anybody throwing sex at you all the time, you gotta wonder why. You gotta wonder why somebody has this uncontrollable urge to put their breasts in your face, tight ass shit all up on their pussy. Then they got on some tight ass shorts, put the buttons off, like kind of like tempting, like you know, go for it and shit. Like it don't stop. And then like I said, I'm gonna tell you again. Sometimes when somebody's offering that shit like that easy, you may not want it anyway. Because if it's that easy for you, it's that easy for anybody else that want it. So when you get older and look back, not saying you can't have fun and shit, but you don't want to have. If the fun you have is gonna kill you, then maybe it ain't fun. Or if the child born, but now the child is a product of sexual diseases and all that shit, that's gonna be hard on the child. So these are things you need to think about before you just go, oh wow, her ass is fat. Oh damn, she got her breasts all in my face. Oh damn, she want me to come hit that right now. She said me and my man can hit. Oh shit, you need to be thinking about what you're sticking your dick into, my nigga. Let's get. I'm out.